Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, and today we are stitching block number 3 from the Sew Simpler block of the month Sew Along. I am sewing block number 3 today, and it is called the Pansy, and this is what it looks like, right? This is a leftover from the project that I did. This is leftover from that kit. And hopefully this will inspire you to kind of sew your own, using your own fabric, which is what I'm doing. I'm using scrap here. So this is what it looks like right here. I've cut my pieces out. I am going with the red, the pink, and the aqua, so I can kind of make it a little interesting, you know? I'm going to sew and you're going to see what I'm doing. So let's sew, okay? I have my pieces cut out, ready to go. I'm using just pinks and red. And the reason why I have this facing upside down is because I wrote on here with a friction erasable pen. I want to be able to see the letters that I've written, so I turned it the other side, but this is what it really looks like. This is what it looks like. This is all the pieces I'm going to need for the one block, okay? Now I'm going to start sewing, and I have my instruction right here. Here we are. This piece right here, this rectangle piece, we're going to sew another piece of square to the corners, okay? We're just going to do snowball. I'm going to just chain piece it. Chain piece is just sewing without cutting your thread. Going to do all 4 that is called for. I've sewn all this side on. I'm going to sew another piece on this side, and I will cut and I'll press, okay? So I've sewed the corners onto all 4 pieces. They are completed, and so I'm going to put it to the side right there. And so this right here wants us to make HST, 4 HSTs. To make my 4 HST, I cut one square here and another square, and I'm going to sew them together to make 4 HSTs. So I'm going to do that so you can see. And on this one, my fabric is not going to pull because I have literally starched this to death. I'm going to put them together, right sides together, and I am going to just sew all 4 corners like this, okay? 1/4 inch apart, and I'm going to sew again, and one more. So all 4 corners are sewn, right? So now I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to cut from here, and I'm going to cut from here, and I'm going to get my 4 HSTs, all right? So let's do that. I got my rotary cutter here, and I need a ruler. So what I'm going to do now is put my ruler on the diagonal ways. I'm going to cut from corner to corner, like so. And then I'm going to bring my ruler back, and I'm going to cut again, okay? Put that right there. I will have my HST. So now what I'm going to do is press them open, press them open. I'm going to press them open and give it a little heat. Then I will trim it to the size that it called for. That way my HST will be perfect size, okay? Okay, I'm just pressing open right now. That way when I go to trim it to size, it wouldn't be bumpy. All right, so now that that's trimmed to size, I'm going to just trim it to the size that it calls for. I have trimmed my HST to size. I made 4 that's required, and I just had to cut 2 squares, put them together, sew all 4 corners. It will be a little bit bigger than what you need. Without giving the pattern away, I just cut 2 square that is 5 inches, and I just sew around all 4 corners, and then it's a little bit bigger than required. and I trimmed them down. That way it'll give me a perfect size HST. So I'm going to put that right there. That is done. The next step we're going to do is the leaves. So we're going to sew the leaves, okay? The leaves is right here. And I'm using this pretty aqua right here from Bonnie and Camille. Their aquas are beautiful. I'm going to take my rectangle piece and I'm going to take my background piece and then I'm going to sew the corners on. And that's it on this. Oh, this block is so easy. You can put it together literally in an afternoon, less than an afternoon really. So I'm going to sew here from corner to corner, okay? I'm going to sew the other side. I'm sewing the other side from here, from the top left side to the bottom right side, okay? Both pieces are sewn like so. So I've sewn the corners on. That's step number 3 right there. So the next thing we're doing is assembling this block, okay? We're going to take our HST and we're going to make like a pinwheel out of it, okay? I am not the best at doing this. So we're going to make that center pinwheel. I'm going to do that first, then I will put the other pieces with it, okay? So that's what I'm doing right now. So now my pinwheel for the center is completed. I need to make sure that I have my colors facing the right direction. The next step is putting the flower petals that I made. I call these the flower petals. I'm just going to put them like this. I'm going to put them like this, like this, like this, okay? And then I'm going to take my background piece. I'm going to put it over like this, okay? And like this, kind of like a 9 patch. This is what it's looking like so far, okay? This by itself right now can literally be a block, the way it is in the middle, and have a different color right here. This will be the center, and then this will be a block by itself because it's just, it looks great. And I'm going to sew. So now that these are sewn together, right? Now I'm just going to sew these parts together, and I want to make sure my seam are lined. I'm going to pin. Okay, so the inner piece is completed. So what we're doing is bringing this, the second step that we made, we're going to bring it back and we're going to sew on like this, and we're going to sew on like this. And then I'm going to take my H piece and put it right here. So pretty much right now, the entire block is done. I'm just going to sew this to this, and then I'm going to sew this right here to this, and then join it to this one. Okay, so let's do that first. So these are sewn on. I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat. Okay, so I'm going to sew this square piece, and I'm going to sew it here and then join it to the other large flower. Now that this piece is sewn onto this, the next thing is to join this together, and everything is done. The only thing is make sure that your seam right here and your seam right here lines up. I'm going to just trim this thread off to eliminate a little bit of bulk. Make sure this piece and this piece line up so it will look nice. So I'm going to pin it, make sure it stays in place. The other side doesn't really matter because there's no seam. So I'm going to sew it, and then after this, the entire block is complete. Well, here we go. So I sewed this part on wrong. I'm gonna have to rip it out and flip it the other way. So like I was saying with my previous videos, the easier the block, the easier it is to make a mistake. And this is prime example. I literally just sewed this whole thing and realized that this was sewn on wrong. So I'm gonna have to visit Jack the Ripper, okay? Well, let me do that and I'll be back and sew it the right way and then you will see. So this is just a full transparency of how mistakes happen. There you have it. Okay. I ripped the corner out, right? So I ripped this side out and I ripped a little bit of this right here. I ripped it past the seam. So what I'm going to do is flip this, flip it the right way, sew all the way down, and then I'll come back and I'll sew this on. So it will be all right. Making sure that I'm doing it right this time. So now I'm going to sew it the right way. So let's do that. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe. Okay, so here we are again, making sure that I'm sewing it right and making sure that it matches, because this part is supposed to be this way and this part is supposed to be this way. So there you go. I'm going to make sure that I get it right this time. All right, so let me flip it. Picture matches. Yes. Okay. Because I can't make the same mistake twice. That would just be ridiculous. Let's sew this again. Again, this is full transparency. Everybody makes mistake, and I am owning mine right out because, like I said, the easier the block, the easier it is to make a mistake or to sew the wrong piece on. This is a prime example of starching. So I have starched my fabric ahead of time. The stretching on this, even though I had to rip the seam, it be very minimum. So that helps me in this. I'm going to press this again to help me straighten it out, and then I will sew this dangling part on, okay? I just wanted to be just transparent. Mistake happen. We all make them, and it's never going to be perfect all of the time. So I'm glad that you saw that. I didn't want to edit out my mistake that, you know, that happened on camera. So I just want you guys to see that it's not perfect all the time. So, but this is the block. This is what it looks like. So I did correct my mistake and I did visit Jack the Ripper. Final product looks great, I think. So this is my final product of block number 3. And this is the pattern for this block for number 3. If you're not subscribed to the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler box, you can get this on their website, and you can buy it every month if you want to participate on the sew along, but you're not necessarily wanted to commit to the $29.95 every month. That is available to you. So if you want to participate, this is block number 3. We're not knee deep yet, so you can still catch up if you wanted to. And I just wanted to tell you that, just in case you guys don't know, I think this block is going to be fun. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a mystery, but so far it's really pretty. If you would like to participate, I will link below where you can get the pattern at Fat Quarter Shop. And with that being said, I'm glad that you came to hang out with me today. And also, don't forget to subscribe down below so we can continue to have fun like this, and you can just see me when I mess up. Like I said on my very first video, if I mess up, you see it, and then we're in this together. Please don't forget to subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.